Hey guys, I'm Chris.
Hey everybody, I'm Robert.
And we're the Film Flamers.
And as per tradition, we are going to shoot the flames because it's the first part of October to start a spooky season.
That's right.
And we have a not... Did you hear that?
It's a Mike Flanagan ghost. and he's here to tell us that there is a Friday the 13th in this month.
There is. The Mike Flanagan ghost of Netflix past.
Yes. And future.
And future. There's not much of a future with him and Netflix except for what we're going to talk about later on.
Right. But, I mean, like, this month is super special. It's in October, spooky season with a Friday the 13th. So instead of doing the obvious thing and covering, Friday the 13th, we're actually going to be covering 13 Ghosts and the 13th Warrior and the top 13
X-Files episodes. In our humble opinion.
Yes.
That's right. So those of you wishing that we would cover Friday the 13th, we'll have to wait.
That's right. For another Friday the 13th.
That's right.
Moment.
They happen. Periodontally.
Sporadically.
Be seeing you.
Have not sporadically.
All right. Well, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. We're just starting.
Reviews.
Do we have any?
Yes.
Read it.
Classic Rock 93 says, my favorite horror podcast. Chris and Robert always have me laughing out loud while I'm listening at work. Luckily, I haven't been fired yet. I wonder if Classic Rock 93 is the one who almost, or did, shart themselves.
Shart themselves in the office because of the swabbing the decks with toxic masculinity thing?
Swabbing the decks with testosterone, yeah.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you, Classic Rock?
If not, I'd love to hear all the wacky work stories.
That's right.
How many we've had people like ruin their laptops almost, or
yeah, because they spat all over it.
Yeah, and then like other things have happened. Maybe people have lost their jobs. I don't know. Anyone get in a car wreck?
Please don't.
All the people that have died that can't answer us when we answer the question.
We'll wait.
How many people have we killed? Oh my God. Let's move on.
Thank you for the review, Classic Rock 93. And anyone else who wants to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or really anywhere, do so. We're going to read that on the next Shooting the Flames.
From our deep dive into A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, Ashlie over on Patreon said, first like and first comment. I've been waiting for this. Yes, yes, yes. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you, boys. My nostalgia boner just poked me in the eye. That paper mache house, the wallpaper in Kristen's bedroom, the outfits and hairstyles, the teens, Nancy's amazing comeback. My God, so much of this part of my core. I also watched this so many times that I can't even guess the total number of watches.
Hard same, Ashlie.
I hope that we did it some justice.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we did.
That we had a fair and balanced approach, a very Fox News approach.
That's right. And we did not. I pretty much just like jerked my nostalgia back.
Yeah, but I think I pulled us back to center. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Which is not a Fox News thing, but you know.
No. No.
Man, that analogy didn't last long. Okay.
Fembot18 over on Instagram, which I think is also Ashlie, said, nightmares do come true. Thank you, Chris and Robert. Absolutely love this episode. What a walk down memory lane. I mean, Elm Street. This movie was on constantly in my house when I was 7 to 10. Same. I had the VHS. Show me on the marionette where Dream Warriors touched you. Dying.
We did say that, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes. So I fucking love Dream Warriors, which I said nonstop during that episode, I'm sure. And it seems like Ashlie did too.
Mitch Butts over on Insta said, I can't wait until you do the next Elm Street when Freddy is resurrected by a dog peeing. This episode was so nostalgic. I'm glad I'm not the only one that used to watch this movie over and over. And of course we did. We ended up doing Dream Master.
Very next.
And then over on Patreon, we released
The Dream Child.
The Dream Child, which we liked a little bit better.
Yeah, it is a better movie. Not as good as Dream Warriors, though.
No.
All you people are correct.
Yeah.
Nostalgia all through that for me. And it seems like a whole generation of folks. So we all share that. McRad92580 over on Instagram said, are you ever going to do Return of the Living Dead?
Yes, and I think we're going to do it kind of soonish.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it's coming up in the springtime of 2024. So just a very short months away. And I'm glad that Dream Warriors reminded you of Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be doing it for Comedy Month.
Are we? Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Because we're doing different zombie movies in March.
That is correct. Everyone stay tuned. Our docket is packed.
From our bonus episode into Predator 2, Nikki over on Patreon said, I'm glad my knowledge of movies isn't as detailed as yours because I didn't see any of the shot-for-shot connections until you brought them up. I definitely see it now. And she's talking about the Predator 2 shot-for-shot with aliens.
Yeah.
I did love seeing some of my favorite actors that I totally forgot were in this movie. My take, I remember loving this movie when it came out because Danny Glover was the true hero without a white savior, which didn't happen often back then. While I wasn't allowed to see this in the theater, it feels like one of the many movies in the late 80s and early 90s that was targeting the urban demographic, like the commercials that only played on BET. Looking at it from 2023 lens, the cultural references are a bit much, but back then we were just glad to see black and brown folks on screen. Hear, hear. Upon rewatch, it felt like it would have been perfect to watch in the theater in my West Philly neighborhood growing up, where we would have all been talking back to the screen, rooting for our guy to outsmart the predator who looked like black alien with locks, loving the one-liners and feeling vindicated seeing Mr. Danny Glover's amazing role in The Color Purple, who we still love to hate.
Yes.
That's true. Get paid the respect he deserves at the end. Fun fact, according to Wikipedia, some of the LA Lakers got to play background predators in the movie because they couldn't find anyone on short notice. In fact, that was going to be a fun fact.
Really?
But I had struck it from the records. I'm glad that Nikki got to bring it to us. Still a good bad movie in my eyes. At the end, I just kept thinking about how they get that ship under LA with all the buried infrastructure. I'm always an engineer. That's true. I was thinking the same thing. Actually, we mentioned it too, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. It's like, how the fuck did they get that ship down there? Anyway, Gillian said, very well said, Nikki. Clap, clap, clap.
And she's correct. Very well said, Nikki.
Clap,
You're
clap,
right. Clap, clap. You're right. This is a bad movie that's fun to watch. Like, that was my favorite part of this bonus
Yeah, it's a good bad movie.
Was watching it because I had a good time watching it, for sure. And I think that you're totally valid on this. I feel like this movie and a lot of movies from that time period were sort of targeting that urban demographic, right? And I always remember Danny Glover from The Color Purple because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's so hard for me when I see him in the things to like give him a chance and like him because I hate him so much in The Color Purple.
Yep.
But it was a fun watch, and I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad you guys voted for that in the poll, for sure. On our deep dive into Prey, Cafe Tabac over on Spotify said, I initially watched, without knowing, the Comanche version and loved it. I rewatched the English one, and I wasn't as impressed anymore. How odd. Splendid film.
That just makes me really want to see the Comanche.
I know.
Anymore. Seems like they still liked it, though.
I feel like in a year from now, when I'm ready to watch Prey again, and I'll probably like watch the Comanche.
Right, and I'm really going to have to like force myself when we do The Mist eventually to watch it in black and white.
That's what I really want to watch it in.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm going to get that fucking Blu-ray 4K when it comes out. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's been released yet.
The Blu-ray that came out had the black and white version.
Oh, maybe it's a Steelbook edition. I don't know. Either way, I want to watch the black and white one the most.
Mm-hmm. From our deep dive into Prometheus, this Wani over on Spotify said, just discovered YouTube with this episode, and I'm so glad I did. Very funny, very intelligent breakdown. Thank you. Heart.
Oh, your first episode of ours is Prometheus. Well, go over to patreon.com/thefilmflamers and listen to our original bonus episode about it because we were not expecting to love it so much. So we've been talking about Prometheus for quite some time.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many people that are like listening to our deep dives, but probably don't watch or listen to Shooting the Flames.
Yeah.
So they'll never know that their comments are being read, but maybe they will, and they will go over there and check it out.
So whenever we get to the questions and such sections of this, anybody who sends us a DM, I tend to respond with, hey, we're going to answer your question on Shooting the Flames. So hopefully people start to listen.
From our deep dive into Halloween, the 2018 version, Charisma over on Spotify said, I watched this movie on a plane and the only person beside me, an old lady, was watching over my shoulder. I didn't think much of it until she said, come on, Michael, let's fucking get him. I love that we're getting these random comments on Spotify and I don't get notified for all of them. I'm still kind of finding some of them because Spotify just hasn't gotten their shit together yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun to see some of these.
Well, speaking of Spotify, on our Batman Returns episode, Dennis R. Lapointe said Robert's laugh is the best.
Oh,
he's right.
From Jurassic Park, 123-606-9214 on Spotify. I think that's a fucking phone number too. That's insane. I don't know.
No one call that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a purpose, like it's a Mr. Movie phone or something. I don't know.
867-5309.
No. It says, hello. In the Jurassic Park episode, you mentioned wanting to know about the layers of the sound design. I've attached a link to a video about the raptors in the film, and there is a link to the sound design of the raptors of the film.
And we will post that in the show notes. Dennis over on Facebook Messenger said, hey guys, love the show. I've been listening about 2, sometimes 3 episodes a day or night for the last few weeks.
Wow.
I have a question for the end segment. When the saxophone from Careless Whisper plays, what's that other soundbite from? And what exactly is being said? Thank you for your insightful conversations and comedic moments. Robert, your laugh is one of the best things ever.
Yay.
Hey.
So actually someone's asked this before, I think a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, about 6 months after we added that. Yeah, so that's like some random YouTube video where this guy was like filming on a rainy day while he was driving his car and saw like this really hot daddy outside of his car jogging. And it was like, come through, daddy. Yes, daddy, yes. And I can play the whole thing for you here because it's a lot more dialogue.
Bitch, Feliz Navidad, Happy Kwanzaa, all shalom in the hole, come through, daddy, yes, daddy, yes.
We loved that so much and laughed about it so much, and it seemed to fit very perfectly with that segment of our podcast that we just added it to Careless Whisper, maybe for like a couple episodes, and it stuck forever.
Yeah, we just keep adding things like that to all of our episodes, like Deke. Just from the last, 3 months?
And now we know that people listen to the very end of our episodes because every so often people will tag us or send us like a reel on Instagram that's Deke. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ryan King over on Patreon said, you guys mentioned It Follows a lot. It's an outstanding film. I can't seem to find that you guys have covered it, or am I missing it entirely? No, you have not missed it. We have not covered that.
We
not
keep
yet.
trying to find the right place in the docket.
Yeah, and it seems like it's like an A24 movie, but it's not, right?
Nope.
And so it's like we need to find some others that seem like A24, but not. And I think there's like a theme that we've written down that's kind of like that. We have It Follows. We have like, I think Babadook is not A24,
Nope.
you know, but does Babadook go better with Relic, which is also not A24, you know? So it's like we just have to figure this out, and just like we try and put them, you know, where they belong.
So Ryan, just so you know, It Follows almost has already had a deep dive. We had it on the docket for last February for when we do our romance movies, but it got bumped for The Craft.
Oh,
Because that just seemed like a better fit for Heather's.
that's right. It was.
And it was. So, but It Follows is definitely going to have a deep dive. Stay tuned. We love that movie a lot, and we're going to talk about it hopefully sometime soon.
And you should just be able to go into Google and type in like It Follows, maybe in quotes or something, with Film Flamers or whatever movie you want us to hear us talking about. Because sometimes we'll mention it during like an old Hot Takes episode, or maybe it'll be in like the top 10 favorites of the year if it's a more recent movie from the last 4 or 5 years. You know, like you type in like Film Flamers Night House, you might get a couple of different episodes, Hot Takes or Best of the Year 2021 or whatever the fuck that was. You know, and so you can actually search that way a little bit better, but you can also go to our website, I believe, and search that way as well.
That's right. We've talked about a lot of movies.
Because it'll search the show notes as well. It doesn't have to be a deep dive.
CJ McGinnis over on Patreon said, I always hear you guys talk about Boston/Texas. I'd love to meet you guys next time y'all are in Boston. I love your show.
Yeah. So I lived in Boston for work for like a year and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, of course, as soon as I went there, like 3 to 6 months after I moved, the pandemic kind of shut everything down. And so we had planned on doing like a lot more stuff there, and I'd planned to live there longer term, but it just wasn't in the cards. But we do still we're flirting with the idea of making a pilgrimage back up to Salem again when everything's opened up and, you know, the way it should be.
That's right. And they have a pretty good like horror film festival that goes on up there that we want to go to.
Except that they have a different podcast that, you know, a couple of different podcasts up there that do things. They have not invited us yet.
That doesn't mean we can't just go. But if we are ever in Boston again, and I'm sure that we will be at some point, then, hey, we'll look you up.
Kimberly sent us an email, and she just like randomly sent us pictures of her Dollar Tree birthday party finds because she had to throw a party, I guess, for someone. And it shows like a bunch of like stuff, like napkins and plates and stuff, and it's all like Five Nights at Freddy's themed. And it's like really good. It's like a huge poster.
Yeah.
Like on the wall or like stood up or something. And it's just like this dance floor with all the creepy things from
It's
Freddy's.
kind of like a photo backdrop kind of thing.
Yeah.
We can post these pictures too. I can post them on socials. But yeah, I think she was throwing a party for like a niece or nephew.
Yeah. So she went to Walmart and she went to Dollar Tree. I don't know which is from which, but damn.
I want a Five Nights at Freddy's birthday.
I don't.
Well, your birthday's coming before mine now because mine's passed. Nikki sent us an email and she said, we just finished watching The Midnight Club and the Horror of Dolores Roach. Without looking it up, I knew The Midnight Club was done by the Hill House Bly Manor team. Big scares in the first episode and then all story. I enjoyed it, but I need to expect slow parts. Dolores Roach was a great ride. Love the setting and the feel of it. The Heights is a whole vibe. Well acted, great cast, and a bunch of oh damn moments. Gotta love a new adaptation of Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, I hadn't really heard of that.
I haven't either. I think it's streaming. Maybe it's like a Prime thing.
Yeah.
But Midnight Club, we have talked about before on the podcast.
We did, and I was at least disappointed, more so than you, because I had actually read the book.
Yeah.
And it turned into much more Flanagan than Christopher Pike, which I was disappointed with. And it's my least favorite thing that Flanagan's ever done, I think.
I liked it.
Not that it was bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
It's just like compared to everything else he's done.
Well, I feel like Flanagan things are going to be Flanagan things no matter where he gets the material. Because I feel like even Dr. Sleep was a Flanagan movie and not like a King or a Kubrick thing.
Yeah, it started off very earnest, Christopher Pike, and then it just kind of, I could see the writing process just get more and more in his own head. You know what I mean?
You just see the Flanagan happening all over it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got more and more masturbatory and self-important. Yeah.
But I'm going to look up Dolores Roach and see what it is. So I like a recommendation that I'll probably watch.
Livy over on Patreon said, I listen to you two every morning when I get ready for work. Can you do a Timothy Oliphant episode? He's starred in at least 3 horror or horror adjacent movies. 1, The Crazies. Love that movie. Mm-hmm. 2, A Perfect Getaway. Haven't seen it.
That's right.
3, Scream 2. That's true. Scream 2 is excellent.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's great. Also,
The Santa Clarita Diet, which I have seen. She says she hasn't seen it, but I have seen, and it's great. It's with Drew Barrymore. Mm-hmm. And it says, hot. I would love to hear you guys talk about these movies.
I know that we've talked about doing a Crazies deep dive.
Did we ever do Scream deep dive?
We have not deep dove into Scream yet.
Wow.
But I feel like when we do, it'd be a whole franchise thing.
Yeah.
Right?
We'd have to go through it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scream 2, to me and to many out there, is just as good as the original Scream.
I would agree with that. I really like
in
Scream
some ways.
2.
Yeah.
I like Scream 3 as well.
And Timothy Oliphant is amazing.
He is. He's hot.
He's good in everything he's done.
I have not seen the Santa Clarita Diet, but I do like Drew Barrymore as well.
Mm.
A Perfect Getaway is good. It's like 2000s horror movie.
I really want to see The Crazies again. Like, I love how big it zooms out, and I've never seen the original.
It's a really good remake, and the original is great.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the remake better.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was just kind of shocked. I thought it was going to be like this small town zombie movie, and then it turned out to be like this global thing. And it's like, It does a really good job.
Nicole over on Patreon said, first, I'm currently watching Talk to Me and absolutely goosebumps after the opening scene. But before I forget, I watched Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose tonight.
I think we did a trailer for that, or maybe I dropped it from our...
I don't remember watching a trailer for this. I think I remember
maybe it was on
a
the
title
cusp
like
of
that.
adding that to our trailer thing last month.
Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose.
I thought it was horror adjacent, and so it sounds like it could be.
I mean, okay. And I have no idea what the fuck Simon's Pegg accent was intended to be, but it was fucking delightful and distantly horror adjacent. And I thought I should mention it to you.
Good. Yeah, because we nearly put that in our trailers for like a shooting the flames either last month or the month before that.
Well, with the title like Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose, I feel like I need to add that to my lookup for Dolores Roach. I mean, come on, my goodness.
Really?
Okay, well, I'm glad that you are enjoying Talk to Me, at least after that opening scene. We would like to know what your thoughts about the whole movie are, for sure, because we really enjoyed it, and we went to go rewatch that movie in the theater when it was released back in July. So we've seen it twice this year already.
That's right.
Once at the Overlook, and then we needed to throw our dollars at it.
That's right. And then we were done with it.
Oh, I'm not done with it forever.
No, not forever. Just for now.
For now.
Bennett over on Patreon said, a while back, you mentioned during one of your Shooting the Flames episodes that you plan on covering the talented Mr. Ripley. All I can say is finally, while not really horror or borderline horror adjacent, it's definitely a queer thriller for the ages and worthy of your attention. Also, one of our personal top 10 favorite films. I can't wait. And I have added this to our official list of requests and also tagged it as a possible Pride movie or Pride Month movie.
And I really, really want to talk about Talented Mr. Ripley.
I've never seen it.
I know. Every time we mention it, you say that, and I'm always flabbergasted. I like it. You know, I think it's good. I think it'd be a really good Pride Month movie. We just need to like fit it into the docket.
Is it though? Like, I felt like it was way too, it was in the 90s. I felt like it was way too early to do any kind of like actual like gay thriller
No,
movie.
I mean, it's all very gay adjacent.
Okay. It's gay and horror adjacent?
I feel like the novels probably weren't.
Then what is it?
It's a gay adjacent, horror adjacent thriller.
It's just stars Gwyneth Paltrow, and that's all I need to know. It means it's good adjacent. Okay.
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's coming, Bennett. It's breathing very hard. It's coming very soon, hopefully.
It's good adjacent.
Oh my God, we're so Muppety. Did we get new voicemails this month?
Oh my God, did we? Yes, we did. To answer your question. Our first one is from Kimberly.
Hey guys, it's Kimberly. It's been a hot minute. I moved into a new apartment, got a new car, and then promptly got fired. So if anybody has leads on a job in medical research that I have 18 years of experience in, please let me. Five Nights at Freddy's is actually extremely popular with the tween crowd now. My boyfriend's 12-year-old son is having a Five Nights at Freddy's, or FNAF, as the young folks say, themed birthday party tomorrow. Which I'm excited for, and it's going to be super beautiful, and I'll send you a picture. He's too chicken shit to finish the game, though. He starts playing the game and then gets freaked out. So anyway, it's a like 12 to 13-year-old set, super popular. What else? I think Julian Sands was missing for like 6 months before they finally found his body, and another hiker found his body. He was out hiking, performing somewhere, and he and another hiker disappeared, and they were dead. And I guess they fell off a ledge or something and died. So yeah, so that was he was missing for several months. So I love you guys, but read some non-horror related news, current events and all that. So anyway, I love you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
I didn't know he was missing until he was already dead.
That's right. Me too.
So, I mean,
I've already forgotten who he is.
Well, I'll never forget, except what he looks like and things that he's done.
Because I never saw whatever he was in Warlock.
Warlock, yeah.
Yeah.
Boxing Helena. Stuff like that. I mean, Warlock was his big, like, horror one. Yeah. But
I've never seen Warlock, and I've never seen Phantasm.
Phantasm you need to watch. It's a must watch for sure.
Yeah.
Warlock, yeah, I mean, sure, why not? It's a fun watch. But yeah, so I had no idea that he was missing. And I feel like that could have been like bigger news, but he was less of a celebrity. I don't know. It's still sad, but, and I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's will always be popular in the tween crowd. But like we talked about earlier in the episode, we got your pictures, and I do like that little backdrop. Also, sorry about losing your job. I'm sure with that kind of experience, you will find something. Plus, you're very pleasant, and I would want to have you working around me. So If you want to try something in food service, if you want to do some medical research about food service, call me and we'll find you a spot. Come on. What else we got?
Oh, here's this one from Nicole.
Hi, guys. This is another Nicole here, and I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate your wonderful Exorcist 2 coverage. My son, my beautiful crotch fruit, heard your lovely voices going, yeah, 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 in the other room while I was listening to your podcast, and now he wanders around my house going, yeah, 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 and I can't escape it. So thank you so much for that contribution to my life, and I'm going to keep on listening. Have a wonderful day.
Your crotch fruit sounds amazing, Nicole.
And I see, I haven't listened. I just saw the transcripts, right? Because I want to listen to him live. I didn't realize it was a new Nicole.
We have so many Nicoles and Nickies and things. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds like a kid that I want to be around for sure. Chris, if you ever have a kid, I want the first words to come out of his or her mouth to be, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They would have been anyway.
I mean, probably. Come on, for real.
We have one last final voicemail.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You look like a monkey and smell like one too. Happy birthday, Robert. Love you.
Oh, love you too.
That sounds like Kimberly.
It does sound like Kimberly. I would know Kimberly's voice anywhere. A monkey?
Yes. You just had your birthday in mid-ish to late-ish September-ish.
Mid-ish to late-ish.
Yes.
Late-ish.
And I will have my birthday in mid-ish to late-ish December.
That's right. Kimberly, you're going to have to call again around Chris's birthday to tell him
you have
he
set
looks like
this
a monkey.
precedent, and I will not have my birthday be unadorned by this pleasant voicemail.
My birthday will not be ignored, Dan. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It was a good birthday. I am an old man now. I was talking to someone that day, and I was just like, well, I'm 44. It's time for my quarter life crisis. And I was like, wait. Midlife crisis. Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad day. But thank you. It was a good birthday.
And speaking of your birthday, you have some new patrons.
I do? Just for my birthday?
Just for you.
Who are they?
It's all for you.
It's all for you, Robert. It's all for you. Stop reminding me of my nanny like that.
So we've got the Dean Swan, who joined us as a film sparker.
CJ McGinnis joined us at the fire starter level.
And Livy also joined us at the fire starter level. And of course, she also commented earlier in this episode.
As did CJ McGinnis. Mm-hmm. So we are glad you guys joined the Patreon family and are already sending us the comments, questions, and such that we can read and talk about on Shooting the Flames. But we have to shout out our patrons at the Film Flamer tier or higher. And at the Film Inferno level, we have
Calmy Lestat,
Kimberly,
Penelope.
Thank you guys. And at the Film Flamer tier, we have
Anthony,
Ashlie,
Ben,
Big Dave,
GlazedDonut,
Jessica,
Lisa,
Nikki,
Rosie Red Leader,
and William.
But especially no one.
No. Or all of them.
But especially Robert. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'm also a patron.
That's true.
Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Horror news.
We have a couple of news items to talk about, but it's kind of like bare bones right now. And it's spooky season. That's ridiculous. I feel like every October, we're like, there's no horror news, which is stupid. It's the time of year to do that. But the future of Halloween, the franchise, is in question as Malik Akkad is currently shopping the rights for the film and television future of this.
Right. Well, that makes sense after this latest trilogy has been put to bed. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that like they have to shop around. And so one interesting thing is that we might have A24 being interested in TV rights.
That's right. So A24 recently bought the TV rights to Friday the 13th, and they are creating a show called Crystal Lake, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to show on Peacock, and Brian Fuller is developing it. And now they also want to get the TV rights to Halloween to create a TV series of that as well. So it seems like A24 is taking their horror roots and branching out of film and into television areas.
The fertile ground of horror.
That's right.
Bears many fruits.
It does. But Universal...
Why did I sound like a child of corn when I said that?
No, you really did, though. I just want to get you like a really circular brimmed hat to walk around in. Universal and Blumhouse had the rights to Halloween for that trilogy, and now they don't. So I guess we will see what the future of this franchise looks like. But A24 TV, sure, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm super looking forward to that Friday the 13th series.
Next up, we've got Easter Bloody Easter, which is an upcoming horror movie that unleashes a killer jackalope and his devil bunnies.
I mean, I just wanted to mention this because it sounds ridiculous.
Does it?
And to say that I can't wait for a trailer. A killer jackalope?
Yeah, which don't exist, but, you know.
I mean, it's mythology. It's American mythology.
Sure.
Come on.
It's American Horror Story.
American Horror Story jackalope.
Devil bunnies.
Devil bunnies. Can you imagine being like nuzzled to death by a bunny?
Oh.
I can. That sounds amazing right now, actually. And finally, Brightburn 2?
What?
Question mark? The H Collective is actively developing a sequel.
Did you even see the first one?
I did, finally.
Oh, okay.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I thought it was good. And I think the ending kind of like leaves it all open for a possible universe of things.
Mm-hmm.
So this collective, the H Collective, is very open to the idea of having like AI created movies and just like mixed media things, right? So they are open to all kinds of possibilities for Brightburn, and they are going to make one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming soon.
First up, we've got a movie called Totally Killer, and this is starring Kiernan Shipka of Mad Men fame and a bunch of other things. And this is going to be on Amazon Prime on October 6th, and this is a time travel-y movie where a girl goes back into the 80s to prevent a murder that her mom was taken part of. I feel like I've seen this movie in a couple of different ways, right? Yeah. What was that movie where they went back in time, like, but into a movie in the 80s?
Oh, Final Girls.
Final Girls, right? Mm-hmm. And there's another one where they go into the cabin or whatever, and there's like kind of role reversals and weird shit going on. It's like a mashup of those, but it's like almost like the 80s nostalgia boners is really getting tired right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's time to start like groping our 90s boner.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not to say I wouldn't watch this. It seems like a fun movie, but it does seem a little bit like trite.
Especially since at this point, like if that 70s show came out today, it would be based on that 2000s show.
Oh my God. Every single Shooting the Flames. You just cannot help yourself but make me feel old. I just called myself old. God. So close after a birthday, Chris. My goodness. But you're right. I mean, like, okay, it's time to move on. Like the 80s, like horror heyday revival has finished. It's time to go into the 90s, but this will be our last foray, shall we? Can we all agree on that? Mm-hmm. With that being said, I think it looks fun. Not as fun as some of the movies like this that came before it. Like Final Girls is an excellent horror movie that's also dealing with like mother-daughter relations. So yeah, but I don't know. I'll watch it.
Next up, we've got The Fall of the House of Usher. And this, of course, is Mike Flanagan. But this time bringing in the talents, the cool stylings of Miriam McDonald.
Oh, my goodness.
Madam President herself.
President, all up in this. Listeners, you know that we are ready for this. We are ready. We were ready for this series when we first announced its like in creation on Shooting the Flame those many moons ago.
And I wonder if this is kind of like the last of his, like this marks like the end of his like 5-6 year solid journey of Netflix partnership.
Yeah, because now he's fully into Prime.
Yeah.
He's ready for primetime, bitch.
Mm-hmm. But the next movie he's doing is a Stephen King adaptation.
Which one?
It's not even called after like it's like one of the short story collections.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that. He makes good King work. But this is good. I mean, so this is all like Edgar Allan Poe, right? But told with a really modern, like, mafia flair.
It does. And looks like there's about, 18,000 more characters in his version of Fall of Usher than there was in the actual story.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, he has to like spread this Poe work over an entire season. But I mean, we are complete Flana fans. You know, I feel like the last thing we saw from him was Midnight Club. So I'm ready to see this. It looks great. It has the usual cast of characters plus Madam President. So what's not to love, really?
Well, I'll just find out, because every time that he basically gives up directing after the first 2 or 3 episodes, it kind of falls apart a little bit.
Oh my God. Let's see what happens with this then.
Yeah, I'd love to see what if he directed this whole thing end to end.
October the 12th, we're going to find out.
I guess so.
And finally, the last trailer we have to talk about is something that Chris and I have been looking forward to seeing even before we met each other.
Right.
And that is a movie called Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth, finally coming out November 17th.
Really? Yeah. And so, of course, this is essentially its own thing. It's been long enough. It's been like 20 years. That he is, shopping for new horror enthusiasts that will want to see this. But for people of our age or older, a lot of people have seen Grindhouse.
That's right.
Right. And the trailers that played during those 2 movies, that double feature that he, not he, but Robert Rodriguez and,
Quentin Tarantino
did together. And that was Death Proof and the zombie one.
Yeah. Planet Terror.
Planet
Terror.
Yeah. And so this trailer was like before, middle, and after, maybe, or just before and middle. I don't know. Maybe just between. Anyway, so one of them was done by Eli Roth, right? And that was like back when they were called like the Splat Pack, right? And so he did like this really cheesy and horrific trailer for Thanksgiving, where this lady is like, jumping on a trampoline and she like lands on her butt or whatever, and there's someone that stuck a knife up there, and like really crazy trailer, and a bunch of trailers back then. And like one of them's already been made by Robert Rodriguez, which was Machete was turned into a movie
and a sequel.
One of those trailers. Yeah, and a sequel. So this is one of those, but we've been waiting so long for this, and it looks great. The trailer is actually a teaser. It's not a full trailer, but it's already looks great.
And that's good. I don't need to see anything else. I wanted to see it before a teaser even existed. So it's fine. He already did the legwork. But the difference is that this one seems really modernized, when the trailer for that was like intentionally done as sort of this like grindhouse 1980s kind of slasher movie. And this is, a little bit more modernized, but I am here for it. I've been waiting for Thanksgiving for quite some time. As much as I love Death Proof, and I mean, Grindhouse as a whole, I thought the concept was neat, but my takeaway from that was Thanksgiving, like fully. Like I really have been looking forward to this and cannot wait to see it.
Well, guys, I think that about wraps up this episode of Shooting the Flames. Tell us what you thought of our trailers and our news articles and everything else, and if we missed anything.
You can find links to all these things on our show notes, and then find us on social media at The Film Flamers on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, all the things.
You can email us at tiredqueens@filmflamers.com or call our hotline at 972-666-7733. Lick me.
Yeah.
Lick me.
Like we said earlier, we have a lot of content coming out for you in October. Stay tuned for all the 13s that we have. And we should probably go off, get ready for those by having some sweet dreams.
Sorry, I just saw Black Phillip behind you.
Lamb.
Truly.
Mortimer. Deke.